இளமையில் நாம் செய்ய நினைத்ததை முதுமையில் செய்ய இயலுமே என்று வாருங்கள் வாருங்கள் நண்பர்களே, கூடுங்கள் கேளுங்கள் நண்பர்களே. கோவைவானில் ஒன்றாய் கூடி சிந்திப்போம், கேட்போம், மகிழ்வோம். சிந்திப்போம், கேட்போம், மகிழ்வோம்.
This podcast is brought to you as a joint initiative between Anubhav, the National Institute of Social Defense, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and Media for Community Foundation. Project coordinators Dr. R. Sridhar and Alok Verma. Radio coordinators Pooja Murada, Kaushalya and Sai Sudha. Producers Covaicare Retirement Communities. If you are a senior citizen and need help, contact our Elder Helpline 14567 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. We promise to help you lead a better life. I repeat, 14567 between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
வணக்கம்.
Hello everyone, I'm Revati Bhaskar and I will be talking on expecting the unexpected and embracing life. As seniors, most of us have led a full life and discharged all our responsibilities and hence should be ready to leave when our time comes. Undoubtedly, life is a journey to death, but not all of us are prepared to accept it right away. Losing a soulmate is a devastating experience that can strike at any time. The grief is profound, the trauma is such that we may feel that it is impossible to survive and the grieving process is never truly over. Yet, the art of life is a constant readjustment to our situations and surroundings, and we need to channelize the grief into something productive. The physical absence of our loved ones should not in any way diminish the values instilled by them, and we should try to carry on their legacy. The immediate aspects of the loss can be multifold: emotional, financial, logistical, and social. I'm sure you would have listened to a well-articulated podcast of Mr. Krishnan, where he has analyzed the changes, trauma, and the hopelessness the bereaved undergo on the loss of a loved one, and also how one can cope with the grief. Having been recently widowed, I have experienced the most stressful aspects of bereavement which arise while getting down to brass tacks after the formal mourning is over. In most households, the person who passed away had been managing the finances of the household and making all important decisions and running the house, so to say. In his absence, if the details a family needs to know are not readily available, it adds to the stress and hopelessness, and the survivor feels having been left high and dry. It is as cumbersome as collecting strewn bits and pieces to solve a jigsaw puzzle. The paperwork related to transferring the assets, etc., in the name of the survivor is tedious, mind-boggling, and exasperating. Many a time, when both the husband and wife are independent sources of income and they wish to maintain secrecy of their bank accounts, investments, etc., when the tragedy strikes, the survivor is clueless as to how to go about managing them. It may be pertinent to list the things we may keep ready so that should calamity strike, the survivor need not face the difficulty in the process of transition. It is always desirable that a diary or file be maintained wherein all that the family needs to know in case of an exigency may be noted down and kept up to date. It is extremely essential to document details of all our assets, liabilities, bank accounts, title deeds of the house, property taxes paid, gas and electricity, telephone connections, debit credit cards, locker keys, insurance policies, contact numbers of our doctors, relatives and friends, passwords, etc., and inform the next of kin where these are kept so that when we are no more, they will not be inconvenienced trying to locate them. Details of any liabilities should also be noted down. It is also a good practice to draw up a simple will witnessed by two persons which need not even be registered. In the case of bank accounts and investments, the importance of nomination cannot be overemphasized. It must, however, be remembered that the nominee cannot claim ownership of the money because if the illegal heir so chooses, it can be contested. The role of the nominee is similar to the executor of a will. The above list of things the family should know is just illustrative and not exhaustive, as it will differ from person to person. From my past experience, I would like to point out a few things which I think are very important. Most of us hold credit cards, and in all probability, one person in the family is the primary card holder and the other is an add on card holder. If the primary card holder dies and the bank is informed about it, the card will be immediately deactivated and the add on card holder cannot use it but has to pay off all the dues by the next billing cycle. If the add on card holder is past the age of 70, unfortunately he is not entitled to a new credit card. So it would be a goodbye to all the lounge accesses and benefits a credit card can give. Another issue is related to claiming insurance if the deceased had been hospitalized and had not opted for cashless insurance, or if the hospital does not feature in the list of the insurance company. In the hurry to settle the bill, we tend to overlook the need for a detailed statement of the hospital charges on a day-to-day basis and leave the hospital with a single-page discharge summary. Unless the detailed bill is submitted, reimbursement of the same by the insurance company is very difficult. A death report and a death summary have to be collected from the hospital for obtaining the death certificate, and these will also be needed at the crematorium. 2 photographs of the deceased, as well as his or her Aadhaar card, and a copy thereof will also be required at the crematorium. While obtaining the death certificate will not be delayed, issuing the legal heir certificate is time consuming, and it is suggested that an application for it may be submitted simultaneously. Life is full of moments big and small. Some hurt, while some feel great. We need to embrace them all to make ourselves strong. We all die. The goal is not to live forever, but to do or create something which will live forever. The way forward would be to strive for emotional well-being. On the financial front, proper planning needs to be done so that the same standard of living can be maintained. A new will has to be drawn up and all assets properly documented. Income tax returns too need to be filled on behalf of the deceased, and as per norms, the PAN card has to be surrendered. The transfer of house property and all the relative utility services such as electricity, telephone, etc. need to be attended to and cannot be postponed indefinitely. In this process, we will rediscover ourselves and start living as we would want to, rather than how others would expect us to live. Life and emotional landscapes change enormously, and these changes may sometimes even last a lifetime. It is therefore necessary to make peace within ourselves. While it is impossible to retrieve yesterday, tomorrow is fraught with uncertainty. Therefore, we need to make the best of today which we have. There should be no if brooding, only if I could have done this or only if I could have done that. When there is no chance of it to happen, why keep harping on it? We need to celebrate the life of our loved one by honoring the interests and values which have been left behind as their legacy. Life goes on, and so must we go with it. We also need to love and respect ourselves as we are an entity in ourselves, and by embracing life and moving on, we can cherish fond memories for all times. Thank you for having heard me. I have only tried to present the practical sides of coping with the grief on the basis of my experiences and cannot claim expertise in the same. I felt sharing this information for the benefit of others. I hope I have been successful in reaching out. Thank you.
Thank you, Revati, for speaking about an extremely painful experience so close to your heart in a very calm and balanced way. You have given us not only some vital information, but also set an example in fortitude and courage. We thank you very, very much. Signing off on behalf of Covaicare, Malati Jayakumar.
இந்த வலையொலி அனுபவ் தேசிய சமூக பாதுகாப்பு நிறுவனம், சமூக நீதி மற்றும் அதிகாரமளித்தல் அமைச்சகம் மற்றும் மீடியா ஃபார் கம்யூனிட்டி ஃபவுண்டேஷன் இவர்களின் கூட்டு முயற்சியாக உங்களிடம் கொண்டு வரப்பட்டது. திட்ட ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர்கள் டாக்டர் ஆர் ஸ்ரீதர் மற்றும் ஆலோக் வர்மா அவர்கள். வானொலி ஒருங்கிணைப்பாளர்கள் பூஜா முராடா, கௌசல்யா மற்றும் சாய் சுதா அவர்கள். தயாரிப்பாளர்கள் கோவை வாணி, கோவைக்கேர் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் கம்யூனிட்டிஸ். நீங்கள் ஒரு மூத்த குடிமகனாக இருந்து உதவி தேவைப்பட்டால் எங்கள் எல்டர்லைன் ஹெல்ப் லைனை தொலைபேசி எண் 145667 இல் தொடர்பு கொள்ளவும். காலை 8 மணி முதல் இரவு 8 மணி வரை. ஒரு சிறந்த வாழ்க்கையை வாழ உங்களுக்கு உதவி செய்ய நாங்கள் உறுதி அளிக்கிறோம். மறுபடியும் கேளுங்கள். தொலைபேசி எண் 145667 காலை 8 மணி முதல் இரவு 8 மணி வரை.
That's all for today, folks. Be safe. Fight COVID with 2 vaccinations. Wear a mask when you go out. Keep safe distance. Observe proper hygiene. We must win. We will win. Thank you.